Hello everybody, welcome to the channel, Out of Ammo, Out of Time. Yes, I'm your host, as always, Krabby Terror8. And here we are in episode 11, I believe, of the Investigator games for Eldritch Horror. Yes, and this time it's time for everybody's favourite violinist, Patrice Hathaway, to have a go in the Investigator games Eldritch Horror edition. Now, for those of you who are new to the channel, welcome. What is the Investigator games, I hear you ask? Well, it's like the Hunger Games, I suppose. We take each investigator, we put them through the game, true solo. This season is Azathoth, and there's a lot of investigators to go through. I think about 20% of the way through them. And we see how they go. So it's not about winning the game or finishing the game. It's about the relativity of performance of the different investigators and just seeing how they go solo. It's pretty tough, this game, to play true solo, as I found out a number of times. But it's always fun and interesting to see how these poor hapless investigators go. I don't think any of them so far, as you can see in this league table, have managed to get all three mysteries and defeat Azathoth, but a few have gotten two, and Charlie Kane did pretty well last time. Surprisingly, even though he couldn't use any of his special actions and abilities because they were almost multiplayer oriented. So yes, it'll be interesting to see how Patrice Hathaway goes. Also interesting that I also do the Investigator games for Arkham Horror, the card game, as well. I take each investigator true solo through those scenarios as well. And Patrice Hathaway has just popped up in the Dream Eaters expansion. I haven't got to her yet, but she will be one of the investigators I'll be piloting through The Gathering, which is the opening scenario of Arkham Horror, the card game, in the first campaign, Night of the Zealot. So it'll be interesting to compare her abilities in this versus that. So there we go. Let's have a look at Patrice and what she's all about. So here she is, playing the violin. Looks very serious and focused. So just looking at her stat line, yes, she's very low on strength. So that immediately tells you that fighting is not her bag, is not her deal. But her will and her law are relatively strong, as is her observation. So it sounds like spells are the things to do. Her influence is relatively weak as well, at least initially in the game. She's more mentally strong than she is physiologically strong, but she's pretty balanced from that perspective. I do like her special abilities and actions, though. You can spend a clue and a focus to improve one skill of your choice. That's pretty powerful. Focus tokens do have some benefits because they let you, re-roll a dice or whatever. But the fact that you can use a clue and a focus to improve a skill of your choice is really, really great, because either you can lean into your strengths or you can shore up some of your weaknesses as you go along. And when you close a gate during an otherworld encounter, you gain a clue and a focus. So closing gates is actually, there is some significant benefit. One of the things in this game sometimes is just getting clues can be quite hard, particularly if there's a MyGo on the table. So being able to close a gate and getting a clue and a focus is just an additional benefit. When I play the violin, the music echoes in other worlds. So she's clearly someone who is connected to otherworldly things. So let's have a look at this side. We'll ignore the right-hand side because that's just not going to happen. So she starts in Sydney, Australia, my hometown. So it's a good start, although it's a bit kind of out the way. So she starts with the banishment spell and a clue. We'll look at the banishment spell in a second, but it's a pretty powerful spell. Hailed as a musical prodigy from her youth, Patrice has performed for royalty and society's brightest minds all around the world. For years she thought that her consciousness simply drifted as she played, but she's come to believe that an intelligence exists behind her visions. Somehow the notes form a bridge between her own mind and another. The more she grasps what her music exposes her to, the more afraid she becomes. After last night's concert in Sydney, she's finally decided to take action. Good on you, Patrice. Let's see how you go. So that's Patrice. She's got her clue here. She's got 5 and the 7, the clue. And here's the banishment spell. So this really does lean into the law. You can test law +2, which would be 5 dice for her. And if you pass, discard one monster on the nearest space containing a gate with toughness equal to or less than the test result. So actually improving the law, there's a real benefit to that because you can get rid of monsters quite easily in that way. So that's pretty nice, all of that. There she is in Sydney, ready to roll. So let's just go around the houses and just make sure that we've got everything set up. I'm not going to obviously shuffle this up, but I've already pre-done for the, what are they called? The Mythos phase cards. So I've already done that. So if we just move across here, I'll just shuffle these up a little bit. We'll shuffle up the assets and we'll put those out and see what we get. I'll just put them out first. Here we go. Here we go. Okay, so in terms of what we've got on here, there's a ritual dagger. It's quite cheap, but that gets you a +1 when resolving a spell effect or +2 when resolving a combat encounter. That's actually pretty nice for a 1, and actually that's worthwhile getting because that fits with banishment quite nicely. Museum Curator is an ally. You can reroll 1 die when resolving a test during an expedition encounter or a Mystic Ruins encounter. When you gain this card from the deck or reserve, gain a relic unique asset. Wow. Okay, a relic unique asset, not an artifact though. That's an asset. I was thinking it was maybe one of the problems is getting artifacts, but it's not one of those. Agency Quarantine. When you gain this card, immediately choose a space. Each monster on that chosen space loses 4 health. Then discard this card. Nice. And Psychoanalyst ally. You may reroll 1 die on resolving will test as part of a madness condition effect. When you perform a rest action, recover an additional sanity. Nice and relatively cheap as well. So pretty good cards, actually. They're pretty nice. I'm actually pretty happy with those. Definitely want to get that ritual dagger if I can. Shuffle up Asia, Europe, America, General. And here we go. Expedition 4 times. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we are starting in, I think that's Istanbul. So the first expedition is in good old Istanbul, not Constantinople, Istanbul. Shuffle up the other world, and we'll shuffle up the madness, injury, illness, exposure, boon and bane, deal and restriction, pursuit and talent. Okay. Yep, here are the research. Here's a research deck. And, whoops. I do that sometimes. I hit the F key instead of the D key. Okay, so here are the mysteries. First mystery, whoops. Oh, what? First mystery is, please don't be the Shogai one, Omen of Devastation. That sounds all right, doesn't it? Omen of Devastation. Lovely. The Nemesis moon appears in the night sky, visible to all, heralding an imminent doom. When an investigator closes a gate that corresponds to the current omen, he may spend a clue and place an Eldritch token on this card. At the end of the Mythos phase, if there are Eldritch tokens on this card equal to 1, solve this mystery. So we're currently on green, so that's pretty good, but it's got to correspond to the current omen, but that's not too bad. We've certainly had more difficult ones than that. Okay, so we're up to this bit. So speaking of gates and things, let's shuffle up and draw a gate. The first gate we get is Arkham. It's in Arkham. There we go. Good old Arkham, which is a bazillion miles away from where we are, with a zombie. Yeah, so spawn the zombie horde epic monster on this space. If you do, discard this monster. Okay, that's the Reckoning. So that's here in Arkham. which is a long way from where we are. And that happens, doesn't it? Yeah, the zombie horde, eh? Okay. What else? Ah, yes, a clue. A clue. Okay, we'll just shuffle up the clues. And the first one is at number 1, which is, again, a million miles away. So problem is that that's over here, isn't it? Yes, it's number 1, that city there just outside San Francisco, that somewhere in Alaska. Okay. Okie doke. So I think that's everything organized. I think we're good to go. I'll just have a look here on the board. We're here in Sydney. And everything is set up. Istanbul is where the expedition is. We've got the clue here, a million miles away in San Francisco. Arkham and the zombie are there. The Doom track is on 15. Omen track here. So we are all ready to roll here in the Investigator games. Okay, so what do we do here to get going? So the main thing is we need to close a gate. That's the main thing if we're going to get this, if we're going to solve this mystery here, which corresponds to the current omen. So at the moment, that's a red gate. So that's not going to happen for a couple of turns. But the problem is, I mean, we could get a C token and get ourselves to Tokyo. Then we can get another C token and get ourselves to San Francisco. But then by the time we get to Arkham, things will have moved on. So the problem is that we probably should wait a little bit to see whether a gate pops up, which is somewhere a little bit more, shall we say, convenient for us in some kind of way. But we are a little bit out of the way over here. So there's a couple of things I'm going to do in Sydney. And I don't hate Sydney because we can improve our strength, and our strength is kind of crappy. So I'm not averse to that either. So I think the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to get myself a C ticket because it's likely that we are going to close a gate. We're going to need to be somewhere a bit more closer to somewhere, but we just don't know yet. So I'm going to get myself a C ticket, first of all, from Sydney. That's the first thing. And then the second thing I'm going to do is I'm going to have a go at getting this ritual dagger because I think it goes rather well with this. Although maybe I should be doing this, I've just realized, because this zombie here could turn into a zombie horde. So the question is, do I risk it and get the dagger, which would give me a +1 and a +2 for combat encounters? Wow. Or do I try and get rid of this? So what I would have 5. So I'd need to get 2 to get rid of the zombie. I'm actually thinking that at the moment, I'm better off getting this ritual dagger. So I'm going to give that a go. I've only got an influence of 2, but I'm going to try. We only have to get 1 hit to get this, and we can always take a deck condition. So let's shuffle these up. So our second action will be to go shopping. And indeed, we get 1. Fantastic. That's exactly what we wanted. So there we go. Get the ritual dagger. That's brilliant. So that really does, because it is a spell effect, isn't it? Yes, it is a spell. Once per round, you may gain +1. Yeah. Yeah, so that's basically making that a test +3. Great. Okay, that's good. Let's see what we pull out. And we've pulled out a Mauser C96. So that gives you +2 during combat encounters. You re-roll 1 die when resolving combat strength tests during a combat encounter. Well, yeah, that's not bad either. I'm just not sure that we're going to be doing much. I don't think that that's going to be what we're going to be doing, so I'm not going to be wasting time. I think the psychoanalyst would be something worthwhile thinking about as well. But anyway, that's the end of our action phase. We did our 2 actions. We got ourselves a ship ticket so that we can move around. We got ourselves a ritual dagger, which goes nicely with banishment. We can also use it for fighting as well. So there we go. Okay, so let's move into the encounter phase. So we are here in Sydney. So we will grab this card here and see what it says. Sydney. Late at night, dark young wander into the city from the surrounding wilderness. You struggle to escape from the creatures. Strength test. Oh my goodness. If you fail, the attack leaves you badly wounded, lose 2 health, and gain a back injury condition. Wow, and it's only 1. Oh no. This could be nasty. Oh, 5. Whew. Okay, phew. We didn't, and that's it. That's it. So all we do is just, that wasn't really very nice, was it? Okay. Well, there we go. Well, at least we survived. All right, so let's move into the mythos phase. So we will have a look at the first one. And the first one is moves this round one, which I'm pleased about in a way. So we move around to there. There are no gates with that at the moment. We then move into reckonings. The zombie, therefore, hits the reckoning, so it turns into the zombie horde rather than the zombie. So we'll put that back into monsters. We will grab the zombie horde. There it is, which I'm sure is much nastier. Let's have a look at the old zombie horde. Oh, yeah. So all 5, yeah. Ooh, if you lose health from the strength test, discard an ally asset. Roll 1 die. On a 1 or 2, advance the doom by 1. Okay. Well, that's all right. I think we'll probably be leaving that alone. Any other reckonings? I don't think so. I think that's the only reckoning at the moment, thankfully. So we will put out a gate, and hopefully the gates are good to us. Come on, gate. What do we get? We get Istanbul. Well, that's the worst gate because, I suppose we could move up there, and this is frustrating, isn't it? Because close a gate correspond to the current omen. So I suppose what we can do is we can go and we can get ourselves up to Istanbul and maybe do the expedition. Let's see what monster we get. And the monster is a young Chthonian. When this monster is spawned, each investigator on this space or an adjacent space loses a health and sanity. Well, luckily, we're not there. So we will put that up in Istanbul as well. So there we go. So I think the young Chthonian is, it's only 3. So I think we can probably have a go at getting rid of that. I think we can have a go at the expedition. We might get something good from that as well. But there may be another gate pops up at some other stage. But so far, neither gate's particularly close to us. But that's certainly closer than Arkham, I think. Okay, so the police find you trembling on the floor of your hotel. Okay, you can hear them asking if you're hurt. You want them to know where all the blood. They want to know where all the blood came from. But even after all you have done, all you can think about is your insatiable hunger. What? Ravenous hunger. The lead investigator gains a hunger condition. Then he discards an ally asset and loses 2 sanity. Ouch. Okay, we'll get a hunger condition. Deal, bane, boon, exposure, illness, injury, madness. What would hunger be under? Deal, restriction, pursuit. Is it restriction? No. Illness, maybe. Really? No. Injury. Mad. Must be madness. Search. Paranoia, amnesia, hunger. There we go. We'll take a hunger condition. So we gain a hunger condition. Ooh, ouch. We lose an ally, but we don't have an ally, thankfully, but we lose 2 sanity. That's quite nasty. Okay, so what's the deal with this hunger condition? When you perform a rest action, you cannot recover sanity. Roll a die on a 4, 5, or 6. Discard this card. Okay. Test willpower. If you fail, flip this card. Ooh, not so good. Okay, so there we go. So that's the end of turn 1. So we move into turn 2. So let's just have a look at where we're at. We're still in Sydney. The only thing that's really changed is that now Arkham has a zombie horde on it, so probably best to avoid that if we can. The Doom track is still as it was, which is good. Istanbul here is closer, and there's an expedition on there. So my feeling is that we should move towards Istanbul and maybe start dealing with some of the things there. So that makes sense. I don't think there's anything in the reserves that we should really be focusing on at the moment. We could also get a focus token, would be the other thing. But right now, I wouldn't mind getting rid of this this madness condition as well. Indeed. So what do we do? There's a couple of things we could do. So maybe we move to, where shall we move to? Probably move to here. No, we've really got, do we move to Shanghai? Somewhere where we can improve our law, which is always a positive thing. So maybe we should move to Shanghai because there's no huge hurry. So we'll move to Shanghai. We will rest up, which means if you rest on a 4, 5, or 6, discard this card. So hopefully that will happen. It's pretty good odds. Let's see how we go. And we get a 5. Great. So we got rid of our hunger condition. Nice. Okay, we'll pop that up there. So that was good. All right, so that was our 2 actions. We got ourselves to Shanghai with the... Sorry, I should have got rid of the ship ticket. So we used the ship ticket to get from Sydney to Shanghai, and then we got rid of the hunger condition. So that's something. We're still a bit lower on sanity, but that's something. Yep, so we'll move into the encounter phase. Let's see what Shanghai has for us, hopefully better than Sydney. Shanghai, the Royal Asiatic Society caught you taking a book. You try to explain. Influence -1. If you pass, the society members let you go with a warning, 1 tome. If you fail, you are turned over to the police and must pay damages to the society, gain a debt condition and a... what? Okay, so it's 1 dice. What's it? There we go. Come on. 3. No, we failed. Sometimes this doesn't really... Anyway, so we didn't get it. So we didn't pass, which means we gain a debt condition and a detained condition. Unless we spend the clue. We could spend the clue, actually, and why don't we spend the clue and give it another go? 5. Yep. Oh, there you go. So we lost our clue, but at least we don't get those other conditions. So there we go. So that's the encounter phase. Those have been very disappointing encounters so far. Let's see what the Mythos phase has for us. And indeed, the Doom track goes around again. So Arkham, that means the Doom goes down to 14. The Reckoning hits. What's happened here with the Reckoning? I think roll a die on a 1 or a 2, advance the Doom by 1. No. Okay. Are there any other Reckonings? I don't think so. I think it's the only Reckoning on the board. Yes, thank goodness we didn't get those other conditions. So no other Reckonings. And then we search for a gate. I'm going to ruin it. And it's Oh, I can't believe it. It's Sydney. With a crawling one. Okay. There we go. Sydney with a crawling one. Wow. Here we go. Now, when we close a gate, we can get a clue and a focus. So we get a clue and a focus for closing a gate. When I close a gate that corresponds, I can spend a clue. I'm assuming I can do all of that. So if we can get ourselves down here, yeah. That's really annoying. We're on Sydney and anyway. Okay, let's keep reading. An article on the back page of the newspapers catches your attention. An unexplained attack on a remote outpost left no survivors. You've read about 2 other similar attacks happening in the same region. You can see that the forgotten corners of the globe are growing more dangerous. Event spawned 2 monsters on the active expedition space. Oh my goodness. So that's a mummy. It says on the active expedition space. So does that mean the mummy has to go there? Because it says move it to the pyramids. So I think that has to go to the pyramids. And this one here, a werewolf. Okay. All right. Well, it's got a lot more dangerous in Istanbul than it was before. So I think our best bet is to try and get down to Sydney if we can and close this gate. The problem we have is with this monster that has magical resistance. Damage is equal to your strength. Ugh. Okay. That's not good. All right. Okay, so that's the end of the second round. We're into the third turn now. So how have things changed? They haven't changed that much, to be honest, although in some ways they have. So we're here in Shanghai, and now we've got to get ourselves back to Sydney, or we can try and do things here in Istanbul, which I'm just feeling is just way too difficult now. Arkham is too far away. So I think the obvious place to try and close the gate is down here in Sydney before the Omen track moves around again. And so that's going to be probably what we're going to be wanting to do. Okay, and the Doom track is on 14. So not too bad at the moment. Okay, so turn 3, 2 actions. What are we going to do? Well, we could get a ship ticket and then move, but the problem is then we have to do an encounter with this crawling one. And we're really not going to be able to damage it, so we're not going to be able to actually deal with it. We've had 2 cards with moving the... So its chances of it happening again are much lower. So I think the first thing we might do is we might use this ritual spell. So test law +2. We can make that a law +3. So we are a law of 3. So that's 6, isn't it? That's 6 dice. I've got that right. So our law is 3. Yep. Then it says test law +2. So that's another 2. And then we get another 1. So I just need to copy. Ooh, that was a bit interesting. Okay, so there we go. She's the blindfold effect. Funny. So 3, 6. That's 6. So what we need to do here, if we're going to get rid of... we're going to get rid of the crawling one. We need to get 3 dice with a 5 or a 6. So let's highlight them. Let's shuffle them up and see what we get. We get 3, 6, a 6, and a 5. So we get 3. So let me just read this. If you pass, discard one monster on the nearest space containing a gate. That is the nearest space. Well, I guess they're equidistant because they're both 2 away. So nearest space containing a gate with toughness equal to or less than your result. So we can discard that monster. Tell me I can't. Great. That worked. Now we have to flip this card, and it says, now we got a 3, didn't we? Yes, we did. The arcane works take effect and evil is banished to the world which it came. Discard 1 additional monster on that space. Unfortunately, there aren't any additional monsters. Then flip this card. Very nice. Wow. Okay, so that was our first effect. So either we could move here or we could just get a ship ticket so we can move down to Sydney next time. I actually prefer that because if this moves around again, there's no point us going back to Sydney. I'm kind of banking on that not happening. So I'm going to get myself another ship ticket. And hopefully that won't happen. So that's my 2 actions. So I used the banishment spell and I got rid of monster. And then I got myself a ship ticket. So I'm hoping that it will still be on the red one, and next time I can pop down to Sydney and I can close the gate with any luck. The only thing I'm just seeing, I close a gate. So I'm just thinking about when you close a gate, you gain a clue and a focus. And then when we close a gate, you can spend a clue. So I'm going to assume that I get the clue and then I can spend the clue. Tell me I can't. All right. Okay, so there we go. So we'll have an encounter in Shanghai. Hopefully this is better than the last encounter. Shanghai, the decadent crime lord Lin Tang Yu offers you access to his library of occult treasures. In exchange for information, you may spend 1 clue. Well, that would have been very nice, but we've got no clues because we spent it to stop ourselves getting detained because of the last one we got. So that was annoying. But anyway, we shall move on. So it's time for the encounter phase. Please don't move the omen around. And it doesn't. Fantastic. But this is going to go over here. This looks nasty, whatever it is. So we'll bring out a clue. The clue is, where is the clue? Down in South America, Buenos Aires. There we go, the clue's there. We have a Istanbul. You're kidding. Not something else on Istanbul. Oh my goodness, look at Istanbul. Istanbul is just a hot mess right now. And 3 Eldritch tokens. 1, 2, 3 Eldritch tokens. Oh my goodness, Istanbul, everything is happening there. The Contagion, ongoing rumor. As an encounter, an investigator on Istanbul, good luck, may attempt to stop the spreading illness at its source. Observation. If he passes, in this case, if she passes, she may spend clues equal to 1 to solve this rumor. When there are no Eldritch tokens on this card, each investigator loses 3 health. All right, that's not the end of the world. The lead investigator gains 1 illness condition, then discard 1 Eldritch token from this card for each illness condition that he has. Ooh, that's nasty. That is nasty, but quite frankly, this is just a hot mess. I mean, I can try and... Like, there's 2 monsters on there. There's all kinds of shit on there at the moment. Really nasty stuff. Anyway, okay. So that's the end of the mythos phase. So we move into turn 4. So we just have a look at the board. This is just insane what's going on. Istanbul is just at the center of everything. There's a gate there. There's expeditions there. There is illness and disease breaking out. Werewolves and Chthonians. It's ground zero for everything horrible happening in Istanbul. I don't even know where to begin to even approach all of that. Seriously, if I can get rid of the main thing would be getting rid of the monsters that are on there. And I guess we can work to that with the banishment spells. And then over here in Arkham, we just have a quiet little zombie horde walking around in Arkham, and we'll just let that do what it does. And we've now got a clue in Buenos Aires if we need to get one. So there we go. All right. So that's the end of that's the end of all of that. So we move into our phase. So the first thing I'm going to do is I am going to use the ship ticket to move back to Sydney. That's the first thing I'm going to do. Second thing, what should I do with the second thing? I could go shopping in Sydney. Would it be worthwhile trying to get the psychoanalyst? Or I could just rest and get more sanity. Or I could get a focus token. I think I might get a focus token because I may need to re-roll something, because I'm assuming that it's all going to go closing this gate. If it's something to do with strength, it might make may mean the difference between succeeding and failing here, trying to close this gate. So I'd rather be prepared. Okay, let's move into the encounter phase. So what we're going to do now is, obviously we're not going to do an encounter. We're going to look to close this gate, and hopefully then we will we can use that. So we will flip this and let's see how we go. Okay, so let's see what happens. So what we need to do is we obviously want to pass the first bit. So this is the Great Hall of Celiano. A hooded figure invites you to sit. His pen is poised to write, and he looks at you expectantly, waiting for you to tell him a story. You may spend one clue to resolve the pass effect. If you do not spend the clue, resolve the fail. You are kidding me. Resolve the fail effect. Oh, you can still close the gate. Okay, so we don't have a clue, so we can't do that. The figure invents a story about your failure. Lose 2 sanity. At the conclusion of the tale, he inscribes a phrase in an alien language. Lore. Well, that's a lore of 3. Can we... No, that's for a spell effect, so it's 3. Oh boy, okay, and we've got a focus token, so we can re-roll one of these if we need to. Okay, let's hopefully go. Pretty good chance. Ooh, yes, look at that, 666. Whoa. If you pass, I totally know this language. Alien languages, I know them. You interpret the words and speak them aloud to mend the tear in reality. Close this gate. Woohoo! Fantastic. Wow, that was amazing. So there we go. We closed the gate. The gate is closed, so we'll stick it over here, which means because we closed the gate, when you close a gate during another world encounter, gain a clue and a focus. So we get another focus token, and we indeed get a clue. And then we can put this on here, because this says when an investigator closes a gate that corresponds to the current omen, he can spend a clue and place 1 Eldritch token. So we don't spend the clue. Clue goes in here, and an Eldritch token goes on here. It's important. And then at the end of the Mythos phase, if there are Eldritch tokens in it, solve the mystery. Awesome. Whew. Okay, things are looking good. All right, looks like we might solve our first mystery. Okay. All right, so that's the end of the encounter phase. So we move into the Mythos phase. As long as we survive this, we are okay, but we're getting a bit low on sanity. So green, this one is. So the omen moves around to blue. There are no blues, so it doesn't go down. We get a monster surge for blues, but there are no blues. Now, does that mean... on each face, at the moment, or spawn a gate if there are none on the game board. I thought so. So we've got to spawn a gate. So we get Antarctica with a Gug. Okay, it might be worthwhile closing another gate because, you know, and a clue. Number 10. Clue is on number 10, which is just off the coast of Africa, up here. So I'm actually thinking it might be worthwhile closing another gate because we're close by and we get clues and things. But we'll see what the next mystery is. Okay, so let's read what it says. For centuries, the men from the mosque of Ibn Tulun have stood against the servants of Nefren-Ka. Yeah, they have. Now they travel the world to undo the Black Brotherhood's evil. The Ulama of Ibn Tulun event. Each investigator resolves one effect of his choice. He can recover a health and a sanity. He can discard an impairment token. He can discard one illness, injury, or madness condition. We don't have any of those, so we'll recover a health and a sanity. Very nice. Very welcome. Oh, we can't recover the health, but we can recover a sanity. Very nice. Brilliant. Okay, well, that's the end of that phase. So we're moving into turn 5. Let's just have a look at the board. And the board is developing in terms of gates. We now have 3. We've closed a gate, but there are 3 gates on the board. One is closer to us, so it kind of makes sense that we try and close that gate as well. We might as well. Yes, so Istanbul is still looking like a hot mess. I'm not really sure what to do about Istanbul. It may be just a case of leaving it and just trying to get all of the mysteries done before our health completely goes down to 0. But before all of that, I've just realized, we've just remembered that we've actually solved this mystery. It's the end of the mythos phase, so we can solve this mystery. Fantastic. The first mystery, crowd goes wild, and we have our first mystery done. Brilliant. Okay, so let's have a look at what the next mystery is. The next mystery is the green flame. In response to the cult's invocation, a jet of green flame emerged from a fissure, racing across the ceiling and walls of as if a living thing. When this card enters play, spawn the Tulsa Epic Monster on a random space. Okay. Hold on. Not a random monster. Tulsa Epic Monster. Let's have a look at this guy. Ooh, he looks nasty. Place 1 Eldritch token on the green space of the Omen track. Oh boy, how are we going to kill this guy? I guess we can... Toughness is equal to 3. He's only a toughness of 3. Random space. He is going on to space Tunguska. So he's up in Tunguska. This is going to be difficult. At the end of the mythos phase, if this monster has been defeated, solve this mystery. Well, that certainly puts a kibosh on things. Yeah, because... Let's see. I don't know how we're going to fight this guy. So we need some other way of defeating this monster. And I'm not sure how we're going to do that. We're going to need something like Agency Quarantine. When you gain this, immediately choose a space. Each monster, not epic monster. I've tried that before. You can't use that for epic monsters. I don't know what we're going to be able to do here. We need something which can... We need a spell or something which is going to help us do that. That's a real problem. Oh, boy. Okay. This could be a real problem. All right, well, let's move into turn 5 as we are in turn 5, and let's get our 2 actions. So we're here in Sydney. So what can we do here? Well, we can, first of all, we could, we could use our ritual spell. I'm wondering if we should. The problem is if we really need to be up here rather than down here. See, this Tokyo has defeat monsters, but I suspect it's not epic monsters. And the problem is, So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a ship ticket. First action. Second action, I'm wondering if we should try and, what I might do is I'm going to try and shop here. What do we want though? The psychoanalyst, what would that give us? Cover an additional sanity. This would give us +2. It's not really going to help. We could use this to just get on the nearest space. We don't really need to do that. I might just rest up and get another sanity, and then we'll get an encounter, and then what I think we'll do is we'll try and get up to Tokyo, and maybe, I don't know, we're going to have to try and deal with these. I suppose if we get to Tokyo next time, we can then start to deal with these monsters here using our ritual spell. But I'm hoping we might improve our strength, at least an extra one, which will help. So I'm hoping that happens. Okay, for our second action, we will resolve the Sydney encounter here. Sydney. The notorious criminal Kate Lee has acquired a bizarre item and is looking for a buyer. She thinks no amount of money can equal someone like you owing her a favor. You may gain an agreement condition to gain a weapon artifact. Whoa, okay. Agreement condition. Well, we need a weapon artifact. I reckon we go for it. So let's get this agreement condition. Where are we? Deal. Let's search up agreement. Okay, let's grab an agreement condition. So we get an agreement condition. And now we get a weapon artifact. So let's start flipping them until we get some kind of weapon artifact. King in yellow, no. 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 Weapon, Sword of St. Jerome, gain +2 and +5 when resolving combat. If you defeat a monster during combat encounter, recover something. Wow. Okay. Now we're talking. That's exactly what we need. That was extremely lucky. Okay. All right. So there we go. We got an agreement condition in the process, though, which means test miles while you pass, you may spend 2 clues to discard this card. Or okay, well, we're just going to have to live with that. All right. Well, this might be exactly what we need to do to get this second mystery. So what we need to do now is just deal with that. So Well, that was really lucky. We didn't gain any extra strength, but we now got a sword. We got a ritual dagger and a sword of Saint Jerome. So that should really, really help. Wow. Okay. Fantastic. All right. Let's move into the mythos phase. And let's see what the mythos phase has for us. So the omen moves around to here, which means this moves down by 2 because... yes, Istanbul. So that moves down by 2. We then have reckoning effects. Zombie horde. On a 1 or 2, advance the doom by 1. Here we go. No, good. Are there any reckoning effects here? There is the werewolf. Okay. Move this monster 1 space towards the nearest investigator. Then each investigator on this space loses a health. So the werewolf moves 1 space towards us. Doink. Not the Eldritch token. So he's actually moved away from here now. Wow. And yes, I think this monster also has an effect, doesn't it? Place 1 Eldritch token on the green space of the omen track. Ooh, okay. That's kind of nasty. All right. So now there's 2 of them on there. Okay. Reckoning effect. Here we go. Roll a dice on a 1 or a 2. It's time to pay up. Oh. Dark contract. The contract didn't seem half bad when you decided to sign. I got the sword. But now, reading the fine print, oh my God, you see you're a fool to think it was a fair trade. Oh my God. That gain a dark pact condition. Then roll 1 die. On a 1, flip your dark pact condition. Okay. Okay. Oh well. What the hell? Dark pact. Is that in the same group? Let's get a dark pact condition. Let's see what happens. I didn't read the fine print. I can't believe it. Then roll a die. And I think on a 1, we flip it. Phew. Okay. We didn't. Yep. Okay. We're really bargaining here, doing deals with the devil here. Oh, well. No pain, no gain. I think that's all the reckonings. So, yeah, and then a gate. And the gate is in Tokyo. Okay, well, actually, that's where we're going to go. And it's a goat spawn. It's a goat spawn in Tokyo. It's only a 2. If you defeat this monster during common encounter, you may gain a dark pact condition, discard 1 monster from any space. No thanks, we've already got a dark pact condition. We're already going slightly crazy. Okay, so let's read the other bit. He writes the price on a piece of paper and slides it. Isn't it interesting? Each time I play this game, a theme seems to just come out. So in some games, it's all about like the doom just going down at it's like super, super fast. In other games, it's about having multiple nasty kind of events happening. Oh, which reminds me, I haven't done this one. Sorry. And then in this case, it seems to be all about, deals done. The lead investigator gains an illness condition, then discards 1 Eldritch token from this card. There should be 3 Eldritch tokens on this card. So let's just put the 2 on here and discard the other one. So we gain an illness condition. Okay. What do we get? Infection. When you perform a rest action, you cannot recover health. Roll 1 die on a 4, 5, or 6. Discard this card. Okay. All right. So in this one, it's really about kind of doing deals and conditions and things. So is that all that happens here? Okay. Oh dear. So we've got an infection, nasty infection as well. So anyway, piece of paper, it's more than you can afford, but you don't have any other options, and this greedy lout knows it. Each investigator may gain a debt condition to discard one condition. Oh, okay. Well, let's gain a debt is that right? May gain a debt condition to discard one condition. All right, we will gain a debt condition. We can either get rid of the Dark Pact or the infection. I'm thinking the Dark Pact is worse. So let's get rid of the Dark Pact condition. So we've replaced one with a debt condition. That's pretty good. Pretty happy with that. Okay, pretty good. All right, so we're moving into turn 6 now. So let's just have a look at where we're at. So here we are. We're still in Sydney. Yes, so there are now a lot more gates on the table. There are now 4 gates on the table. It would be good to close another one. So I think the best thing to do for us now is to get ourselves up to Tokyo and close this gate. I'm glad we got a ship ticket so we can deal with that. Then we can get over to Tunguska and we can actually take on this monster. I really think we can do that now that we've got that sword. So I feel like we're moving in the right direction. I just wish the only problem is this infection that we have, but we'll just have to see how we go. But I feel like things are going reasonably well. Like I said, the interesting theme here has been that we seem to be doing an awful lot of conditions and pacts and debts and things. Seems to be the order of the day for Patrice in this particular game. So let's move into turn, like I said, turn 6. Let's take our 2 actions. So let's use the ship ticket to get to Tokyo. No, we won't use the ship ticket first. The first thing we're going to do, yes, we're going to do that. We're going to take the ship ticket to Tokyo. Take the ship ticket to Tokyo. Sounds like a song, doesn't it? Okay, the first thing we're going to do is move to Tokyo. I keep thinking that, like in Arkham Horror, the card game, when you move onto a space with the monster, you have to engage that monster. That's not the way it works in Eldritch Horror. The second action that we're going to do is we're going to use the Banishment spell. Banishment smell. Test +2. If you pass, discard one monster on the nearest space containing the gate. Okay, so test +2, plus we have the Ritual Dagger. So that's 3, 4, 5, 6. So we can use 6 dice. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And see how we go. We only get 1 success, and I think we need 2 for this. Yeah, we do. I'm pretty sure. So I think we'll be using our focus tokens here. Yes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a focus token and re-roll 1. No, I'm going to use the other focus token and re-roll again. Come on. Oh, I can't believe it. I cannot believe it. So that didn't work. That was really unfortunate. We got 1 out of all those rolls. Grasp of Magic proves too difficult for your mind to handle. Lose 2 sanity unless you choose to discard this card. Well, we can fight the goat spawn, I suppose. I don't think it's too bad. So let's just lose the 2 sanity because I don't want to lose this. That was really annoying. Can't believe that happened. Okay. All right. That's the end of our actions. So we will move into encounter. So we've got a combat now with the goat spawn. So let's do this first before we can close the gate. So first of all, it's a will of 1, and we are a 4. We've used all our focus tokens now. So gain +2 and +5 on resolving combat encounters. So let's do that. +2. So we're a will of 4, but we get +2. that 6? Oh, there already was one. I didn't need 2 of them. Okay. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So we've got 6 of these. So we should be able to do this easily. I wish I'd not used up all my focus. Can you believe it? We got 1 in all of that. So that's okay. We got 1. So we met that. Whew. Okay. Now we've got the tough one, which is strength -2. Well, you can't get lower than 1. So we've got a dice of 1. However, the good news is we get 5 more. So we get 6. Is that the way that it works? Okay, so we would normally have 5, 6, and then we have to take away 2, which gives us 4. Okay, so this is 4. Here we go. And we get 2. That's 2, so we don't lose any health, thank goodness, and we actually get rid of this goat spawn. So that was good. Okay, so we've dealt with the goat spawn. We stabbed it to death with our Sword of St. Jerome. Fantastic. And actually, if you defeat a monster drink, you can recover a sanity. That's very nice. Okay, now we can do the other world encounter. So let's do the other world encounter. Let's see how we go with this one. You find yourself in an unknown place. This is the future. Large beetle-like creatures swarm over the landscape. You search the charred surroundings to find some central location from which they originate. Observation -1. So that's an observation of 2. Okay. Let's roll it up. Yes, we succeeded. You reach a city and discover a written form of language, law. Well, we're a law of 3. Yes, we are a law of 3. Okay, let's roll them up. Yes, pass, just pass again. If you pass, you realize that this is the great race of youth. Oh, this is the great race of youth in the far future. I knew this place. Oh, dear. And you convince them to send you home. Close this gate. Yay! So we close this gate. And that means, because we close the gate, we get 1 clue and 1 focus. There we go. There's the focus and there's the clue. Fantastic. Wow. Brilliant. Fantastic. Okay. Well, that went well. We got a clue and a focus. Now, that's brilliant. So there we go. There's that was very successful. So, yeah, we'll now move into the mythos phase. So the doom track goes round 1 again. I apologize for the dog barking in the background. I'm sorry, it's that time of the day when the dog gets very excited about all kinds of things. It's in the afternoon, so we'll move to here. There is 1. There were 2, but I got rid of Tokyo. So just 1. So this goes down to 11. Then we get a monster surge on Antarctica. And we get a cultist. And then we get a clue. And the clue is at number 20, which is back here in Sydney. Is that 20? I don't think it is. I don't know why it doesn't say Sydney. But that's 21. Oh, no, 20's here. That's 20. There we go. 20's in Indonesia. Okay. Fantastic. All right. Your food is being poisoned. Oh, boy. Okay. Your food is being poisoned. Your correspondences are being intercepted. Your transportation is being sabotaged. The constant attacks, real and imagined, are taking a terrible toll on you. Oh, here we go. When this card enters play, each investigator loses 2 health unless he spends 1 focus. Let's spend the focus. Then each investigator loses 2 sanity unless he spends a clue. Now, do we need this clue? Let me just have a look at this. No. So let's just get rid of the clue. Okay. Each investigator may spend 1 focus and 1 clue to gain 2 task unique assets, and then this is ongoing. when this card enters play. So this card enters play. Each investigator may spend 1 focus and 1 clue to gain 2 task unique assets, and then discard one of them. Then discard this card. Oh, that's a positive, but we will need a focus and a clue to do it. Which I guess if anyone's going to do that, it's Patrice, I guess. Okay, so that's the end of the Mythos phase. So we move into turn 7. Let's have a look at the state of the board. So we're managing to keep the gates fairly well in place. There's only 3 gates on the table, so that's not getting carried away. Hence the Doom track is not too bad. We are just here in Tokyo, so we're looking to try to get to Tunguska. So either we can go to Shanghai and get the rail to Tunguska, or we could just move there another way. Yes, so that's what we're going to do next, because we can then defeat this monster. I think we can do this with the sword that we have. Maybe quite tough. So we're going to give it a go. This allows us to defeat monsters, but I'm just wondering whether we're better moving and then having a bit of a rest. We actually probably need to have a rest as well, because these might kick in and we need to be really careful about these as well. So yes. So I think what I'm going to do, so that's where we are in turn 7. I'm going to move to, I'm going to move here into the wilderness. I'm going to rest. Now, do I get to rest? I think when you perform a rest action, you can't recover health, but we can recover sanity. Then we can roll a die, and a 4, 5, or a 6, discard this card. Come on. Oh, no, there's 2 of them. I'm sorry. Well, I got 5 and 6 on both, so there we go. I didn't see the second one there. Everyone's like, yeah, sure you didn't. Honest. Anyway, we got both of them. This isn't a rest thing. That would be a local action. So, yeah, so we got rid of that. Okay, so that's good. We've gotten rid of our infection. And we rested up a little bit more, so we're a bit stronger. So we'll move into the encounter phase. So we will get a wilderness encounter, I think. Here, yep. So let's see how we go with a wilderness encounter. Someone is lost out there. Someone is lost out here. Local guides will not help unless you offer a bribe. Someone is lost out here. Local guides will not help unless you offer a bribe. Handshake. So that's 2. Yep. Wow, we've had some really lucky rolls, I tell you. If you pass, you find the missing person. Gain 1 character unique asset. Wow. Okay. Unique asset. 1 character unique asset. Okay, let's keep until we get a character unique asset. Randolph Carter. We've gained, ladies and gentlemen, we've gained Randolph Carter. Wow, whoever he is and whatever he does. Let's shuffle those up. Let's see what Randolph does. Ally get +2 law and +2 will. Wow, once per round during the action phase, you may reveal the top gate in the gate stack. If you do, you can put it on the bottom of the gate stack. Oh, wow. Okay. Wow, so now we're a will of 6 and a law of 5. We are cooking with gas. That was fantastic. That was amazing. Wow, okay. All right, I think we're really good to go now. All right, so that's the end of that phase. So we will move into the Mythos phase. Oop. Okay, so this moves around to red. Red. There's Arkham. Is that the only red one? Yes, so that goes down by 1. We now turn into we have a whole lot of reckonings now. So the zombie horde, on a 1 or 2, advance the doom by 1. Let's roll it up. Nope. Okay, that's good. No. Yes. What happens with this one? Place 1 Eldritch token. Oh, another one. Wow. That is bad. Is there 4 on there? 1, 2, no, 3. There's 3 Eldritch tokens on there. Okay. Well, we really need to get rid of him, don't we? And then there's the werewolf. And the werewolf is move this monster 1 space. So I guess Shanghai. He's just going to keep, he's going to keep coming for us. Now, that's that. Let's resolve these. So this one says each investigator will spend 1 focus and 1 clue. Well, we can't. This one here, lead investigator an illness condition, then discard for each illness condition he has. So we gain an illness condition. Yeah. And what do we... Another infection? Okay. It was random. All right. So we get another infection. And we lose an Eldritch token on here. Okay. Yeah, gain an illness condition, then discard 1. Okay. And this debt condition. Some men have come to collect the debt. Flip the card. So here we go. Part of your essence that was the deal, and failure to live up to your end of the bargain will cost you and the world more than you bargained for. Resolve the reckoning effect of each Rumour Mythos card in play unless you discard 1 talent condition. Well, I don't think we have a talent condition. Nope. So these get resolved again. So this gets resolved again. So we get another illness condition. Wow. What do we get this time? Oof, boy. We're getting sick. I think it's poison. Yeah, so we're poisoned as well. That goes, which means if there are no Eldritch tokens on this card, lose 3 health. Ouch. And solve this rumor. Okay. Wow. I'm thinking we might wait because... do we wait? What can we lose here? We could lose up to 3. We could die. Potentially. Fight of 5 would be 4. Yeah, we could die. So I'm thinking it might be a good idea to try and do that. Okay. All right. So we move into... Just do that. We hadn't finished here. Sorry, let me move that back. Let me just got lost, a bit lost there. We were doing those. Now we've got to spawn a gate. Okay, and we get Rome with a MyGo. Oh, not a MyGo. I hate these MyGos. Okay, we get Rome with a MyGo. And the exhausting regimen is taking a terrible toll on your body. You're not wrong. Poisoned and infected. You are not eating. You are not sleeping. Pain is your constant companion. Despite this, you know that you walk the path necessary to master the abilities you need to fight this dark threat. Worked to the brink. The lead investigator loses all but 1 health. Oh, well, we're nearly there anyway. If he lost 5 or more health, he gains a talent condition. No. Okay. That's the end of that. Okay. So we move into turn 8. Let's have a look at the board. So not too bad on the Doom. We're here, but we are very sick. We really need to rest up before we take on this monster. We're just really, real sick. So I think the important thing is that we We get that done first, and then we can look to take on the monster. But at the moment, I think we're too sick to do too much. I don't want to die in the process. Okay, so let's move into Patrice moves into her action phase. The first thing we're going to do is to rest. When you cannot recover health, you cannot recover health or sanity. Okay, so when you rest on a 4, 5, or 6, discard this card. Yep. So we get rid of the infection. So we got rid of the infection. With the poison, though, it says when you perform a rest action, you cannot recover health nor sanity, and flip this card. Each night, the dreams become worse. You barely sleep, and when you do, you're haunted by terrifying visions. Will -1. If you pass, discard this card. Will. We're a will of 4. No, we're a will of 6. So 5. 3, 4, 5. Let's see how we go. You are kidding me. I can't believe it. If you pass, if you fail, gain a hallucination condition and flip this card. Oh my goodness. We just can't get rid of these conditions. Madness, is it? Boy. Okay. All right, so we're hallucinating and poisoned, even though we're not infected anymore. So that's our first action. Do we try and do this? Is it? No, we're risking it now because we would get 5 dice, -1, 4 dice. No, it's not worth it. We have to. We can't rest again. We can't rest twice in a row. I'm wondering. Really, we need to get our health back up, don't we? Oh dear, this is very frustrating. It's so frustrating because we have everything we need. We're just too sick to do it. +5. I can't use it to banish. No. Although we could banish this monster here. Yeah, why don't we do that? Test +2. If you pass, discard monster on the nearest space containing a gate. So let's do that. Let's do this. Let's try and get rid of this young Chthonian. So that's what's its? It's a 3. So what do we get? We get law 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We get 7 for this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So we get to roll 7. Is that right, isn't it? So we get law with 3, +2 is 5, plus Randall Carter is 7. Let's roll them all up. We get 1. I can't believe the rolls. I shouldn't have said that. I was like, yeah, so we got 1. Grass, we're going to lose 2 sanity unless you discard this card. Let's lose the 2 sanity because we're going to need to rest up anyway. We can't do anything unless we... That was really unfortunate. Okay, let's move into the encounter. So we're doing another encounter in the wilderness. What do we get? Wilderness. The wind shifts direction briefly and you catch the scent of something that's been tracking you. Look for a way to throw whatever it is off your trail. Observation. If you fail, it continues to pursue you. So that's 3. And we fail again. So what do we lose? Oh dear. No, lose a sanity and gain another condition, a hunted condition. I can't believe this. I really cannot believe this game. Injury, madness, bane, deal, restriction. Is it restriction hunted? No. Talent, pursuit. Oh boy. This is terrible. When you perform a travel action on a 5 or 6, discard this card. Oh my goodness. We are just in all kinds of pain. I thought we were going to be able to get this other monster, and now we are in, I don't know how we're going to resolve this. The only way is to just keep resting up and hoping that we're going to be able to deal with it. We've had some really, really terrible rolls. All right, let's move into the Mythos phase, and let's see what the Mythos phase has for us. So the Omen track moves around to blue. There is 1 blue, so that moves down to 9 now. There is a monster surge again on blue. And so we get a ravenous gug here in Antarctica. What's it do with the reckoning? Move this monster. Okay. And a clue. So the clue is on 13. Oh, that's up there. Okay. There we go. These numbers are not very logical. All right. In the night sky, the planets and stars have aligned, signaling the downfall of mankind. In a single night, tragedy befalls humanity all across the globe. The time has come. This is a red tentacle one. Discard 2 Eldritch tokens from each Rumour Mythos card in play. Unless investigators as a group spend clues equal to half, there aren't any. If there are no Rumour Mythos tokens in play with Eldritch tokens on them, advance the Omen by 1 instead. Okay, well, there you go. Not too bad, actually, considering. All right, let's move into turn 9. Let's just have a look at things. Okay, so things are really almost the same, apart from the addition of a gug. So, but the problem is we are just in no position to take on this monster in the way that we are. We have to rest up. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to take a rest action. You cannot perform a rest. When you perform it, you cannot recover anything. Then flip this card. Let's do this one first. When you perform a rest action, you may roll a die on a 5 or 6, discard this card. So let's see if we can get rid of the hallucinations. And we don't. We flip this card. And again, we do will -1. So we are 6. That's 5, 2, 3, 4, 5. Hopefully we can get rid of this and roll them up. Okay, so in the rules it says you can have a second one, so we just retain the one that we've got. Okay, so we didn't manage to get rid of our conditions. So we can't rest. So I think the thing is, I think we take a focus token because I think we're going to need it. Okay, so that's the end of that. Let's do another encounter. In the wilderness, far from any road or village, you find a shallow grave marked only with an arcane symbol. As you dig, a growing dread weakens your resolve. Will. So we're a will of 6. 2, 4, 5, 6. Let's see how we go. Yes, and we do pass. We would hope so. If you pass, you find a charred corpse clutching a journal, gain 1 clue, and improve lore. So we'll get a clue. And we get a +1 lore. Well, that's nice. Okay. All right, we can just get rid of some of these conditions. I think we'll be in a good space. Okay, let's move into the Mythos phase, and we get a rumour. I had a rumour. Clue first of all. On 16. That's 16. That's up there. It's not far from us, actually. Is that there? Yes, there we go. So we got a rumour. The rumour, oh, I keep doing that. The rumour is in Antarctica. There we go. And 3 Eldritch tokens. 1, 2, 3. Move them onto here. Okay. Astronomers in the southern hemisphere have begun to see radical changes in the stars. Constellations have become completely unrecognizable. Reports from Antarctica describe seeing a second moon. As an encounter, investigators on Antarctica may search for the herds of Byakhee that inhabit the place. Observation -1. If he or she passes, she may spend clues to resolve this rumour. There are no Eldritch tokens on this card. Each investigator loses 2 health and 2 sanity, impairs 1 skill of his choice, and gains 1 injury condition, 1 manners condition, and 1 bane condition. Then solve this rumour. Discard an Eldritch token from this card. Well, we're a bit far away. We're in the other hemisphere, so I don't think we'll be doing that one anytime soon. Okay, let's move into turn 10. Things are getting a bit rough. We really, really want to get this. We've still got time on the Doom track. But this is going to go down by 4 next time. So we're really running out of time. But we're really not in a position to take on this monster until we improve our health. So in doing that, let's rest again in our first action. So let's see what happens here. When you rest, you may roll a die on a 5 or 6. Discard this. Let's do this one first. I think it makes more sense to do this one first. Right, so this is 5, 2, 4, 5. We just need to pass it to stop this. Stop these hallucinations. Yes, we do pass. If you pass, discard this card. Okay, so we discard this poison card. That's the first thing. And I don't think that let us heal anything. You cannot recover health nor sanity. Next thing. Let's try and get rid of the hallucinations. On a 5 or a 6, discard this card. Let's just move these out of the way. 5 or a 6. No. But at least that doesn't stop us from... Yeah. And the hunted one is... Okay. We're really on the edge, though, with this 1 health. For our second action... I think we take another focus token. Whoops. We're only allowed 2, but we've got 2, so if we need to re-roll anything. And I think next time, I think we go ahead no matter what and try and get this because we're running out of time. Encounter. We'll see what happens here. Again, in the wilderness, you try to kick open a door of an abandoned shack. Strength. If you pass, the lock breaks inside, you find something useful, gain a random item asset. If you fail, the long night without shelter, impair your will. Okay, let's roll it up. No, we fail. Let's try and again with the focus token. No, let's do it again with the focus token. No, let's use the clue. Come on. Yes. Wow, we got it. Random item asset. Random item asset is a intelligence report. When you gain this card, immediately gain 2 clues. This is such a roller coaster ride, this game, I tell you. Wow. Such a roller coaster ride. Cannot believe it. Look at that. 2 clues. Okay. So next time, anyway, let's move into the mythos phase. And it is, okay, this goes round to here. So this goes down by 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Reckoning. Zombie horde. Roll a dice on a 1 or a 2. Nope. Okay, that's good. My go. Now the my go Discard the nearest clue and move it there. So the nearest clue is probably here. Or, yeah, they're both 2 away. That's probably closer physically. So let's do that. So the Mygos goes to there. And that goes in the trash. This is bad. We put another Eldritch token, so there are now 4. Well, it's, that's the... Yeah, there's no way it's going back there again. This is the last round. The werewolf moves to Tokyo. The Gug. Move this monster 1 space towards the nearest city space. Okay, it goes there. I think that's all of those. So now we're on to these fun ones here. So here we go. Discard an Eldritch token from this card. Okay. Take an Eldritch token. Okay. Test will. If you fail, flip this card. So 6. So we shouldn't fail this, he says. Yep. Okay. Hunted. Test observation. 3. 1, 2. Let's get 3 dice and roll those up. Pass. Whew. Okay. That's everything. All right. Gate. Things are really getting away from us now. So the gate is San Francisco with the vampire. Okay, all right, let's read what it says. You know that you are not alone in your fight. Countless generations of brave men and women have used their ancient wisdom and skill to craft tools to help you in your struggle. They have built palaces and temples to teach you and to provide shelter. The lead investigator gains a relic, unique asset, and may shuffle the expedition deck and or mystic ruins deck. I may shuffle the expedition deck. I don't see any point in that. But this is good. Gains 1 relic, unique asset. Unique assets. Is this a relic? No. 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 That's an item. It's not a relic. No. Whoops. Come on. Task. 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 Item. Oh, these are relics, are they? Task. Here we are. Mysterious Idol. When you gain this card from the deck, gain a clue. Okay, so we'll gather these up. Put them back. Put this back. So we get the Mysterious Idol. Gain a clue. Now I've got 3 clues. The idol reveals its true purpose to flip this card. Okay. All right. Oh, well, that's not too bad. Okay, so we'll move into turn 11. So let's have a look at the board state as it is now. Yeah, we're things are running away with us. We're really down to this is our last round. This will move. What have we got? Blues here. 1 blue. So this will move down. We've got maybe 2 goes. If we're lucky, 3. But again, the problem is our health is incredibly low. So we need to do something about that now. And we are. So we're going to rest up. We're going to gain health and sanity. And because of our rest, on a 5 or 6, discard this card. Let's see if we can get rid of these hallucinations. Nope. Okay. So we managed to rest up. We're still suffering from hallucinations. Unfortunately, we can't rest twice, but we can take a focus token. So we can take that, which would allow us to improve a skill of our choice as an action. So that's something. So I think we can improve our strength, which I think we're going to need. So I think we'll be doing that. And I think we're going to have to bite the bullet and try and get rid of this final mystery. Now, wilderness, nothing grows in this dusty grey landscape, and the air makes you sick to your stomach. Strength, if you pass. Okay, let's strength 5 or a 6. Yes, we pass. You find a strange object in a crater, gain an artifact. And what do we get? Something that's going to improve our health, please. Test, if you pass, you may spend 1 sanity to discard 1 monster of your choice with toughness 3 or less on any space. Wow. These are great cards. The problem is, I know that you can't use them for epic monsters, I'm afraid. Otherwise, we'd be killing monsters left, right, and centre. Yes. So anyway, that's great. Okay, so we'll move into the Mythos flat phase, and the Omen moves round. The Doom goes down by 1. There is a Monster Surge on blue. A Shan. There's the blue, that's in Antarctica. And another clue on the Amazon. Fantastic. You notice swollen red bite marks on your skin. Apparently the result of some insect or spider. You cannot recall when or where the bite occurred. Food for worms. When this card enters play, this is ongoing, each investigator gains a illness condition. Each investigator loses 2 health. We really just stuffed. We're going to have to, yeah. We get an illness condition. We get more poison. Oops. We can't recover any more health. We're just going to have to go for it, I'm afraid. Because it's just every time we try and rest, we just get stopped. We've got no way of gaining additional health in any way. We've just got to go for it. Okay, so we'll move into turn 12. Like I said, we're now we're really getting to the end of things here. We really have to try and deal with, might as well die trying, because if we don't, we're just going to, there's nothing else we can do, so we might as well do that. Okay, so what we're going to do is, the first thing we're going to do is we're going to spend 1 clue and 1 focus, and we're going to use that to improve our strength. Give ourselves a strength of 2, so that's our first action. Second action, we're going to move to Tunguska. All right, so we'll move into the encounter phase. So here we go. We are going to take on this thing. So it's got, okay, first thing is a will -1. Obviously, we're going to use the Sword of St. Jerome here. So we start with a will -1. So our will is 4. With Randolph, it's 6. Sorry, yes, 6. And with this, it's 8. But then we take 1 away. So 7. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so we've just got to pass this, I think, pretty much. What do we get? 2. 1, 2. Okay, so we lose a sanity. Okay. Now, its toughness is 2, so we're now going to do the fight here. So our fight is 2 plus 5, so that's 7 that we get. But then we take away 1, so that's 6. 3. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're fighting with 6 here. Now, it has a toughness of 3. So we basically need to get 3 passes to not lose any health, but also to kill it. So here we go. And we get 1 pass so far. But we've got these clues, so we're going to spend a clue. And we're going to roll up another one. Nope. We'll spend another clue. This is bad. I'm going to roll up another one. Yes. So we get 2 passes. It's not going to be enough, is it? So we lose a health. And we do 2 damage. Is there anything else we can do here? No. 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 Oh, that was disappointing. But anyway, that's 2 damage on this monster. So he's nearly dead. If we can survive one more round, we might just do it. Okay, that's the end of the encounter phase. So we don't do anything else because we didn't manage to defeat the monster. So we move into the mythos phase. Here we go. So this moves around to red. How many reds are there on the board? There's 2, I think. There's Arkham and Rome. Yes, Arkham and Rome. So this goes down to 1. There is a monster surge in both Arkham and Rome. So Rome gets a moon beast and Arkham gets whatever that is, a chill child of the goat. Yep. And a clue comes out. At least there wasn't reckonings. That would have been really bad. And that's over here. Okay. You tell yourself that it is only a dream, but as you stare into the yawning chasm, it feels real. Perhaps it is true that if you die in a dream, you truly die. But perhaps you can find a way to end this evil if you can achieve that. Is there any risk you would not accept? Leap of faith. The lead investigator may gain a lost in time and space condition to advance the active mystery by 1. Now, I'm pretty sure it doesn't matter because there's nothing really. We're just defeating a monster. It's not like we can put a clue onto it or anything. So that doesn't really help. So we just have to defeat this monster and survive the mythos phase, which I'm not really sure that we're going to do. It is possible we might, but it's not looking like it. But anyway. All right. So turn 13. We're here in Tunguska. We're down to literally 1 left on the doom track. It's looking very, very unlikely things are going to improve from here, but you never know. All right, so we're going to rest. So the first thing we're going to do is rest, which means that we can improve our health and sanity. Roll a dice on a 4, 5, or 6. We can get rid of these darned hallucinations. Nope, the hallucinations are staying. And now I'm going to take a focus. There's a reroll, and then we have an encounter. So we're back here with this nasty monster. So again, we're doing a 4, 5, 6. 6 will, 8 will, minus 1, 7. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Is that right? We're a 4 plus 2, 5, 6, 7, 8, 7. Yeah. So we just need to, let's see how we go. So we get 2. I can't believe this. We only get 2 in all of that. So it means we did meet it, but we go down by 1 sanity. And here we go, strength time. So we are a 2, we're a 7, but then we go -1, I think. So it's a 6. Whoops. 2, 4, 6, and we can re-roll 1. Let's hope we get a really good roll. Come on, let's go. I will spend a focus token. Let's re-roll this. We get 1. No. Well, we die. Do we? Doesn't matter. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that's that. That was really, really frustrating game. It was frustrating in the sense that we felt like we were really on the way to getting our second mystery, and we had so many things in place that we could probably have gotten our third mystery, but our health and our sanity just got degraded by endless conditions, poisons and infections. Really, really frustrating. And in the end, we had to try because the doom track was practically at 0 anyway. In the end, we just went down with some really terrible rolls. Even though we had the sword of St. Jerome and Randolph Carter, it just wasn't enough. So, yeah, so I think, poor old Patrice really, it's unfortunate. She did get 1 mystery, but she wasn't able to quite get that second one before things went really bad. So there we go. Thank you very much for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Now, next time, who are we going to take through next time? 1, 2, 3, 4. Next time will be Daisy Walker, the librarian. She will be going through the Investigator Games Eldritch Horror Edition, and we will see how everybody's favourite librarian goes. But until then, I'm Krabby Terror 8. Thank you very much for watching, and goodbye.